Have you ever wondered why evidence exists worldwide that something far beyond our comprehension has been observing humanity for millennia? What if I told you that during more than 30 years of studying ancient texts, pastors and specialists discovered that biblical stories don't speak about gods, but about powerful beings who came from the heavens? In the Book of Genesis, in Sumerian tablets, in Babylonian records, all these ancient narratives tell the same story. Advanced beings arrived on Earth in remote times and established direct contact with our ancestors. But this was not a peaceful exploration visit. The ancient texts clearly suggest this was an invasion. Today, you will discover what really happened when these beings arrived, why they continue here, and most importantly, what they want from us. Extraterrestrial plans for humanity are being revealed through evidence that has been hidden for decades. Prepare yourself, because the truth about our relationship with these advanced civilizations can completely change your perspective about our own existence. The evidence spans across continents and cultures that never had contact with each other, yet they all describe the same phenomenon. From the pyramids of Egypt to the megalithic structures of South America, from ancient Sanskrit texts describing flying vehicles to Native American legends of star people, the pattern is undeniable. We are not alone, and we never have been. For decades, biblical scholars have analyzed the original texts and discovered something extraordinary. The words that were translated as gods actually refer to physical and powerful beings. In the original Hebrew, terms like Elohim, Nephilim, and the Bnei Elohim clearly describe entities coming from the heavens with advanced technology. The term Zava Hashemayim, which appears repeatedly in the scriptures, literally means armies of heaven. These were not spiritual angels, but rather organized military forces that arrived on Earth with specific purposes. The texts describe their advanced weapons, their flying vessels called Merkaba, and their technological superiority over primitive humans. In 5,000-year-old Sumerian tablets, we find the same accounts. The Anunnaki, which means those who came from heaven to earth, are described as beings who possessed advanced scientific knowledge. They introduced agriculture, metallurgy, astronomy, and complex government systems. But why would such advanced beings be interested in a primitive planet? The answer lies in the resources and strategic location of Earth. Ancient texts describe how these visitors needed workers to extract precious metals, particularly gold, which they required for their own technological purposes. The creation stories in Genesis take on new meaning when we understand that Adam in Hebrew means earthling, or one made from earth, suggesting genetic manipulation rather than divine creation. From clay. Ancient records reveal that these visitors implemented a system of gradual control that mirrors modern colonization strategies. They didn't simply conquer by brute force. Instead, they established themselves as superior authorities, created social hierarchies, and introduced systems that centralized power and resources. In Babylonian texts about Owans and the Apkallu, we see this pattern clearly. These beings brought advanced knowledge that transformed human society. They taught civil engineering, medicine, mathematics, and banking systems. On one hand, this represented an extraordinary advancement for humanity. On the other hand, it created dependency and social stratification that persists to this day. With the introduction of monetary systems, people who previously lived freely from the land now needed to work for money. With complex laws, there emerged those who created the rules and those who had to obey them. With the privatization of land, the basic right to live on the planet was removed from common people and concentrated in the hands of few. Sumerian narratives reveal that not all extraterrestrial visitors had the same intentions. There exists a clear division between different factions, represented mainly by the figures of Enlil and Enki. This division persists today and explains much about the conflicts we see in our world. Enlil represented the faction that viewed humans as an inferior species that should be controlled and used. His actions in ancient texts show someone interested mainly in controlling resources and territory. Enlil implemented systems of domination and didn't hesitate to use force when necessary to maintain the established order. He is credited with bringing the Great Flood to reduce human population. When they became too numerous and independent. Enki, on the other hand, demonstrated genuine interest in human development. He is credited with giving forbidden knowledge to humans, including writing, sciences, and even warnings about imminent disasters. Enki saw potential in humanity and believed that human beings should have the opportunity to evolve independently. He secretly warned Noah about the coming flood, showing a protective attitude toward human survival. This fundamental split between control and development factions explains the contradictory nature of many ancient texts. Some describe benevolent teachers who elevated humanity, while others describe harsh overlords who demanded obedience and sacrifice. Both descriptions are accurate because they refer to different groups with opposing philosophies about how to interact with developing civilizations. This same duality appears in cultures around the world that never had contact with each other. In ancient Armenia, Haldi or Hake is described as a being from Orion who brought technological advances, but whose own name means conquered or taken. His arrival is remembered as an invasion, even though it brought benefits. In ancient Hawaii, the Mo and Menehune are described as small beings who helped humans with impossible construction projects, but who also established strict rules about how humans should live. These beings worked only at night and disappeared when observed, suggesting advanced cloaking or stealth technology. In Cherokee and Mohawk traditions, the mysterious helpers brought knowledge of agriculture and astronomy, but also created systems of authority that didn't exist before. The Hopi prophecies speak of the return of the Star People at a time of great transition, suggesting ongoing contact and future plans. The Book of Enoch, preserved in Ethiopia and cited in both the Old and New Testament, reveals specific details about an event that fundamentally changed the relationship between visitors and humans. The Watchers, beings sent to monitor humanity, broke their instructions and began to relate directly with human women. This was not casual romance. The text describes how these beings taught humans forbidden knowledge, metallurgy to create weapons, cosmetics and jewelry, astronomy and calendrical systems, and even the secrets of warfare and magic. In exchange, they formed hybrid families, creating a lineage that possessed both human and extraterrestrial characteristics. The offspring of these unions were the Nephilim, giants who possessed superhuman strength and knowledge, but also violent tendencies. These hybrids became the heroes and demigods of ancient mythology, the source of legends about beings like Hercules, Gilgamesh, and the Titans. Their existence created a genetic bottleneck that mixed extraterrestrial DNA into the human genome. The reaction of superior authorities was severe. The Book of Enoch describes how these watchers were punished for fraternizing with the natives, similar to what happened when colonial officers became too intimately involved with local populations. The parallel is disturbing and suggestive of an ongoing colonial relationship between advanced civilizations and humanity. The possibility of hybridization between species from different planets found scientific support when Francis Crick, discoverer of DNA structure, proposed the theory of directed panspermia. Crick argued that the complexity of life on Earth could not have evolved in the time available on our planet through random processes alone. According to Crick, the genetic code that produces intelligent life is a fundamental property of the cosmos, just like gravity or electromagnetic radiation. This means that any civilization that visits us is part of a larger cosmic family, sharing the same basic genetic structure. This theory would explain how the hybridization described in ancient texts would be biologically possible. Modern genetic research has discovered that human DNA contains sequences that appear to have been inserted rather than evolved naturally. The so-called junk DNA that makes up over 90% of our genome may contain dormant programs that could be activated under certain conditions. Some researchers suggest this represents a genetic time bomb or upgrade system left by our creators. In 2021, the Pentagon provided the American Senate with an official document confirming that United States military activities are interfered with by unidentified flying objects on average once every 6 weeks. This is not speculation or conspiracy theory. It is official recognition that something is actively interacting with our armed forces in ways that demonstrate technological superiority. These encounters are not random sightings by untrained observers. They involve sophisticated military equipment and highly trained personnel who can accurately assess the performance characteristics of unknown craft. The objects demonstrate capabilities that exceed our current technology by decades or centuries, including instantaneous acceleration, right-angle turns at high speed, and operation both in atmosphere and underwater. In July 2023, the American Congress heard testimony under oath from 3 key military personnel: David Fravor, Ryan Graves, and David Grush. Grush, who had authority within the Pentagon to investigate reverse engineering programs of materials recovered from UFO crashes, revealed that information about extraterrestrial contact is being illegally hidden even from other military departments. Grush, quote, S. Testimony was considered urgent and credible by the intelligence community inspector general. He revealed that since at least 1947, the Pentagon has been running programs to reverse engineer recovered extraterrestrial technology. This means that contact is not a future possibility, but a current reality that has been studied and exploited for over 70 years. According to Brigadier General Haim Eshed, former head of the Israeli space program, there exists a formal agreement between extraterrestrial civilizations and terrestrial governments. This agreement keeps the extraterrestrial presence secret until humanity develops adequate understanding about space technology and demonstrates sufficient maturity to join a galactic community. Eshed explained that there exists a specific technological threshold that, when reached, will completely change our relationship with these civilizations. When we are capable of manipulating space-time and developing our own interstellar travel capabilities, our position in the cosmos will be fundamentally altered. We will stop being a species discussed at the table of space civilizations to become active participants. Ed Mitchell, the 6th man to walk on the moon, confirmed this perspective during years of campaigning for the American government to reveal what it knows about extraterrestrial contact. Mitchell believed that we are on the threshold of becoming a space civilization, and that this transition will change everything about our relationship with the planet and with our cosmic neighbors. Jack Vallée, Eric Davis, and Gary Nolan have publicly confirmed that they are examining materials with unique isotopes that could only have been created outside Earth's atmosphere. These materials demonstrate properties that affect space-time in ways that our current science cannot completely explain, including room temperature superconductivity and gravitational manipulation. If this information is available in the public domain, imagine what is being studied in classified programs. With unlimited black budgets, aerospace companies like Boeing, Northrop Grumman, Raytheon, and Lockheed Martin Skunk Works are clearly involved in reverse engineering projects that could revolutionize our technology overnight. The crucial question is, why does this technology remain secret? If we have access to unlimited clean energy, anti-gravitational transportation systems, and space-time manipulation capabilities, why aren't these innovations being implemented to benefit all humanity? The answer may lie in the same control patterns we see in ancient texts. Bob Lazar's revelations about working on extraterrestrial craft at Area 51 describe technology that could manipulate gravity and travel faster than light. Despite decades of ridicule, many of his technical descriptions have been validated by recent Pentagon admissions. His story suggests that reverse engineering programs have been running for decades with significant success. Just as the Anunnaki gradually introduced agriculture, metallurgy, and banking systems to create dependency and hierarchy. Modern extraterrestrial technologies are being controlled by a small group that decides when and how they will be revealed. This is not coincidence, but rather the continuation of a millennial pattern of technological gatekeeping. The centralization of power we see today, where global resources are controlled by a small elite, reflects exactly the systems implemented by ancient visitors. The battle for control of money, the privatization of natural resources, and the concentration of advanced technology in the hands of few are characteristics that Sumerian texts described 5,000 years ago. Those who control this technology understand that its release would fundamentally alter existing power structures. Free energy would eliminate the oil industry and centralized power grids, Anti-gravity transportation would make borders meaningless. Consciousness-expanding technologies could awaken humanity to their true potential and break psychological control systems. Analyzing thousands of years of evidence, two clear patterns emerge about extraterrestrial intentions. Some factions seem interested mainly in strategic control of this region of space and the resources that Earth offers. Others demonstrate genuine interest in the development and evolution of the human species toward its full potential. Ancient texts suggest that Earth occupies an important strategic position, not only for its physical resources, but for its location on galactic trade routes and its unique biosphere. Advanced civilizations may see our planet as a valuable operations base for activities in a broader region of space, while also recognizing the rare conditions that allow consciousness to develop and evolve. The resource extraction model explains much of human history. The demand for gold, rare earth elements, and genetic material could drive ongoing contact. Human beings themselves may be considered a valuable resource, as workers, as genetic subjects, or as sources of unique creative and spiritual energy that develops in biologically diverse environments. Simultaneously, there is evidence that some of these civilizations see real potential in humanity. They recognize that humans possess unique capacities for creativity, adaptability, and spiritual development that could contribute significantly to a larger galactic community. This faction may be working to guide human evolution toward greater awareness and capability. The current moment may represent a crucial test to determine if humanity is ready to actively participate in a community of space civilizations. Our capacity to manage advanced technology responsibly, to overcome primitive divisions based on territory and resources, and to evolve beyond hierarchical control systems may determine our future role in the galaxy. If we can demonstrate sufficient maturity to use advanced technology for the benefit of the entire species, instead of allowing it to be monopolized by small groups, we may gain full access to the capabilities that are already being studied in secret programs. This would represent graduation from a controlled species to a sovereign civilization. On the other hand, if we continue allowing ancient patterns of domination and control to determine how advanced technology is implemented, we may remain a controlled and limited species, useful mainly as workers and consumers for agendas we don't completely understand. This would represent continued colonization under a new technological paradigm. In the last 70 years, we have witnessed accelerated changes that seem to be preparing humanity for some type of major transition. The increase in social control through technology, the centralization of global governance, the concentration of wealth, and the secret development of advanced technologies all follow patterns that ancient texts describe during previous contact periods. Simultaneously, there are signs that humanity is developing capabilities that were considered impossible decades ago. Instant global communication allows unprecedented coordination of human consciousness. Democratized access to information is breaking down traditional gatekeeping of knowledge. Growing awareness about manipulation and control is making propaganda less effective. The internet itself may represent a technological gift designed to prepare humanity for telepathic communication and collective consciousness. Social media, despite its problems, is training humans to think and act as a connected global species rather than isolated tribal groups. This connectivity may be necessary for integration into galactic civilization. Space exploration is accelerating rapidly, with private companies now capable of feats that only governments could accomplish decades ago. This democratization of space technology may be part of the natural progression toward becoming a spacefaring species, or it may be guided by outside influences who recognize that the transition point is approaching. Ed Mitchell believed that we have sufficient technology to become a space civilization now. The question is not technical capacity, but social and political choice. Will we allow this transition to be controlled by the same groups that have monopolized advanced technology for decades, or will we demand that these advances benefit all humanity? The current battle over disclosure of UFO information in the American Congress may represent a turning point. If we can force transparency about what we really know and what technology we already possess, we can influence how this transition develops. Public pressure is beginning to overcome decades of secrecy and denial. Ancient texts suggest that our ancestors faced similar choices when advanced visitors first arrived. Some societies managed to maintain greater autonomy and benefit from contact, while preserving their independence. Others became dependent and controlled, losing their sovereignty and serving the interests of their technological superiors. Our choice today may determine which path we follow. Will we become junior partners in a galactic community, contributing our unique human qualities while maintaining our freedom? Or will we become a managed species, more advanced than today, but still controlled by forces beyond our understanding? The window for making this choice may be closing rapidly. After examining thousands of years of evidence, from Sumerian texts to modern military reports, a clear pattern emerges. Humanity is not alone and never has been. Advanced civilizations have interacted with us for millennia, sometimes helping us evolve, other times controlling us for their own purposes. We are now at a critical juncture in this relationship. The current moment represents a unique opportunity. We are developing technological capabilities that may qualify us for active participation in a larger galactic community. But we also face the risk of allowing this transition to be controlled by groups that follow ancient patterns of domination and exploitation rather than genuine development. The truth about our extraterrestrial visitors is not simple. Just as in human society, there exist different factions with different agendas, some genuinely interested in our development and evolution, others focused on controlling resources and maintaining profitable arrangements. Our task is to learn to distinguish between them and make choices that promote our evolution as a free and sovereign species. The evidence suggests that we are being tested. Our response to disclosure, our handling of advanced technology, our ability to overcome primitive divisions and work together as a species, all of these factors may determine whether we graduate to galactic citizenship or remain under management. The choice is ultimately ours, but only if we are informed about what is really happening. What do you believe about this evidence? Are we really on the threshold of a transition that will fundamentally change our position in the cosmos? Or will we continue allowing others to determine our destiny as a species? The choice is ours, but we can only make this choice if we are willing to face the truth about our real situation and demand transparency from those who have hidden it from us. The time for passive acceptance may be ending. The next phase of human evolution may require active participation in determining our own future. If these revelations have awakened your curiosity about the deepest mysteries of our existence, continue researching, asking questions, and demanding answers. The truth about our cosmic heritage may be the key to unlocking humanity's greatest potential. If these revelations have awakened your curiosity about the deepest mysteries of our existence, subscribe to the channel and activate notifications. Continue with us as we investigate the secrets that have been hidden from humanity for millennia. Leave your comment about which aspect of this evidence most caught your attention and what you think humanity should do with this information.